Hello everyone, and welcome to PTA 104, your musculoskeletal assessment techniques course. In this video, I'm going to be giving you an overview and layout of the Canvas course. We'll talk about the schedule and the syllabus as well. So let's get started. We have our modules, which is our most important page in this Canvas course. We have 3 total modules in this class, and each module covers a different body part. So this first module up here is your course information. This has your syllabus and your schedule linked in this module, along with your study guides, some college resources, and things like that. So this is just a helpful module. Then we get into our module 1 here. It covers the upper extremity, and it gives you the date range of this. This will be basically your first lab weekend. As we move through, you can see you have module 2 here, which covers the spine, scap, and posture. And then as you go down to module 3 here, we have our lower extremity. Moving on throughout the course, you have your quizzes and exams down here. Your quizzes are multiple retake quizzes. You can take them as many times as possible in order to get that 100%. It is a great study tool as you move throughout the course. Then down here at the bottom, we have our lab handouts. We're going to be covering goniometry and manual muscle testing of basically the whole body in this class. So these are where you can find those handouts and how to perform these. These actually are a great resource. This links you straight to PhysioU, which is your book for this class, which is an actual website. And if you click on the picture in these handouts, it sends you right to the website, and it shows the PhysioU instructors performing these assessments. So next, what I want to do is I want to quickly just go over the syllabus. So you can find the syllabus up here, remember, in that course information module. So on this first page, you can find your required materials. The only thing we require in this class is PhysioU, that you have a membership. If you click this link here, it'll take you right to the PhysioU website where you can purchase that student membership. We have some recommended textbooks that we think are helpful for this class, which is your manual muscle testing textbook and then your goniometry textbook. We also recommend the Trail to the Guide to the Body, this helps with palpation. There's also another app that we use in class at times, which is called the Essential Anatomy app, and might something that you want to look into getting as well. Down here below our books, we have our instructor information. Your primary instructors for this course is going to be myself, Tani De Leon, and Miss Safa. You can see our contact information listed here. A secondary instructor who will be helping us with testing on weekends is Mr. Washington. His information is also on this page. You can see the dates and times of this course, and when the course runs below. We have 2 full weekends, busy weekends for this lab course, and they're listed here below, and the times that you need to be here on those weekends. As we move on through the syllabus, you have the course competencies here in the outline of the course. So this is kind of what we're going to be learning throughout the course. You also have your grading scale down here below. You can notice our grading scale is a little different, so note that. In this course, primarily your grade comes from your practical exams, since this is a lab course. We have a total of 3 practical exams with 5 total skills that cover palpation, goniometry, manual muscle testing, scapular assessment, and leg length discrepancy. The other 15% of your grade comes from those quizzes that we talked about and other assignments that we have you do throughout the class. In order to pass this class, you must get a cumulative grade of 75% or higher. If you do not achieve that grade, you will have to retake the course. If a lecture exam is not passed with a 75% or higher, the student does need to develop an action plan and email or discuss the instructor. There is no exam retakes that are offered for this class. For practical exams, the student must pass all critical elements and achieve a cumulative score of 75% or higher. We do allow retakes for practical exams. You are allowed to take a total of 3 practical skill retakes in this course. If you take more than 3 practical skill retakes, that is not allowed, and therefore you do not pass the course and will be given a 0 and need to retake the course. If you do not pass a retake, you do not also pass the course and will be given a 0 and have to retake the course. Late work is not accepted in this class. We do make exceptions to that policy by a case-by-case basis, only if it's under extenuating circumstances and that the instructor was contacted before the assignment was due. Our lab dress code is a little different than normal class dress codes because in this class we do need to palpate each other. So we do need to have access to as much skin as possible while still maintaining modesty. The lab attire consists of mid-thigh shorts or athletic pants that can be pulled up easily to the mid-thigh, t-shirts that can be removed, and for women, tank tops or sports bras underneath, so we can access as much of the back and spine as possible. If shorts are baggy, please put bike or spandex shorts underneath the shorts. Shoes should be able to be removed easily. Students must be in lab clothing at the beginning of each lab. Students who are not appropriately attired for activities of the day may not be allowed to participate, and a point deduction may occur. Lab time will have to be made up if this does occur. Other things we need to think about when we're coming to lab. We would like our fingernails short and cleaned and trimmed. We want to avoid strong smelling lotions and perfumes, and make sure if you have long hair that you are able to get it off the back and the scapula and the spine so we can palpate accordingly. Attendance is important with these 2 lab weekends because if you do miss a weekend, you do miss about 50% or more of the course. So make sure that you are attending all of those lab weekends, and if anything comes up, we know life happens, please contact us. But a student that does have unofficial absence that exceed that 20% can be withdrawn from the course. The rest here are just some resources that we have for the college that I'll let you look through. So now let's move on, and we're going to go to the schedule. So the schedule is linked up here in your syllabus, but you can also find that in the PTA course information module. The schedule is listed out by each lab weekend. You can see here's our first lab weekend. It's May 16th through the 18th. So that is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and you are expected to be here from 7:30 to 5:30 with an hour lunch from 12 to 1. Our second weekend is May 30th through June 1st, same times. And you can see here in the second column, we give you an idea of what you're going to be learning each day in that lab class. Anything bolded here is a practical exam. So you can see your first testing day will be Sunday, and you will be tested on the upper extremity, palpation, goniometry, and manual muscle testing. As you move to the last column here, these are your assignments. Note we do have quite a few assignments due prior to coming into your first lab weekend. This is to get you reviewing information that we're going to be covering on our first lab weekend. I will be making a separate video here in a minute to go over some of the assignments and what to expect on that first practical. You can see we do have an exam at the end of this course. You will have to take this utilizing Lockdown Browser. So there is a Lockdown Browser quiz that we have you take before this exam so you can get familiar with what Lockdown Browser looks like. So you will be taking this at home on your computer utilizing that Lockdown Browser on June 11th from 7 to 9. The exam will be available. We recommend that you start the exam between 7 and 8 so you can make sure you're done by 9 p.m. because the exam will close at 9. So here is our schedule. I'm going to end this video here. Reach out if you have any questions regarding the syllabus, the schedule, or the course. And I will be making a second video to go over some assignments and the first practical.